was to like keep my hair plaited throughout the day while I was revising, so that it would look all like soft and windswept and just generally like a bit more put together. But now I feel like that's not really worked out, and I honestly don't really know if I prefer it to just leaving it as my natural hair. So that's that, and we're not going to talk about it because I don't want the comments, to be honest. But anyway, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is actually about procrastination, which is quite ironic considering the fact that I am probably procrastinating revision by filming this video. But I have been working all day, I promise. I've done like 7 hours today, which for me now after A-level is a pretty monumentous occasion. So all claps for me, please, thank you. So procrastination is something that we all have to deal with. Like, everybody does it, it's a totally human thing to do. But when it gets close to exam season, but it's not that close that you have that like last minute urgency that stops you from procrastinating, it is like the worst thing ever. And not only is it like bad, it also just elicits like never-ending feelings of guilt, which I totally feel like all the time. I've just realised, oh my god, sorry, like that is really incriminating. So like you can see like tablets and alcohol. I'm not consuming the alcohol. I bought it a while ago, but I didn't end up drinking it, and I've just not really got anywhere to put it, so it's kind of just been on my bedside table. And then there's antibiotics, but I'm not consuming steroids and antibiotics with alcohol, guys. I have not drank like while I've been on the steroids, so I'm sorry about that weird combination, but honestly I feel like it sums up my existence at the moment. So we'll leave it there, we'll allow it, and we'll get on with the video. So the first tip that I have for procrastination, and this is one of my favourite tips that I always think works, ironic because I'm looking at it right now, your phone is like your worst enemy. Now I'm not a stranger to just sort of going on my phone. Like, if I'm having a chill revision day, I will just leave my phone there because I kind of like the distraction, because it means that I still work and I've not got this like laborious like mentality going on, but it also means that I am, you know, working. But if like today, for example, I had like quite, not an intense revision day, but I wanted to get stuff done. So if I have a day like that, basically phone stays upstairs, I'm downstairs, or phone stays downstairs, I'm upstairs. It's not to say that I don't go on it at all. In fact, I advocate going on your phone during the day at some point. Like, don't completely shut yourself off, because, you know, your breaks are your breaks and you can use them how you wish. But I really believe that having your phone around is like #1 procrastination source, because these days notifications pop up. Like, human beings, we're curious beings, you want to know what's going on, want to see what's been happening, and before you know it, you've been on Instagram for an hour. And I know it's such a basic tip, but like, as a lot of people think that they can like control their urge to go on their phone, but you just can't, not for long enough. And even if you're not going on it, you're thinking about how you're going to reply to that message, or you're thinking about if someone's uploaded or whatever. So just trust me when I say, like, phone, procrastination go hand in hand. But that is not to say that you can't go on your phone, and that's kind of like what I want to talk about with regards to this tip, because I feel like most people will drop this tip in their procrastination video, like, don't go on your phone. But then, like, that's just like, we're human, like, we want to do things like that. So here's my tip on how to deal with that. I can't cope with my hair in this video. I don't even know if I can upload this. Do you know what, we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna upload it anyway, and we're just gonna pretend it's not happened. But like, I'm sorry if I keep touching it because it's annoying me like a lot. So here's my philosophy. I personally feel that, say for example, you did 6 hours of revision in the day and you didn't go on your phone for those 6 hours, that would be more productive than doing like 8-9 hours when you've kind of like intermittently been going on your phone. I'm really like a big advocate of like giving yourself, just allowing yourself when you're in your break to do what you want. So for me, like my break, if I'm having a 20-minute break or an hour break or whatever break it is, I can go on my phone as much as I want. I can like just do whatever. I can do all the stuff that I would usually do to procrastinate, but freely and without guilt. So basically channel your procrastination effectively. So enjoy your procrastination, because there's two types of procrastination. There's not really, but like, okay, I'm totally losing track of what I'm trying to say, but basically what I mean is, when you procrastinate, you feel guilty, right? Because you know that you should be doing something else. Say if you do all of those activities in a time slot that you know you've left free to do them, then it takes that guilt away, and it's not procrastination because it's like effective and it's like recharging your brain. So basically what I mean is, phone is a no-no whilst you're revising, but don't like act like, you know, you need to like go like into the desert for 40 days and like not talk to anyone or anything. Like, your phone of course is useful and nice to have, but like enjoy it. So like, don't have it as something that's causing guilt. Like, have allotted times where you can like really just enjoy being on your phone, and then that's really, really nice, you know. The next tip is your laptop. Like, oh my gosh, okay, so I will admit, I will put my hands up in the air and say that even if I'm not on my phone, I do check Facebook sometimes, guys. I do go on Twitter on my laptop, and I do it, but I would like to like say myself that it will be for 30 seconds max. I'm very good at just like having a quick look to get that little urge out of my mind and then go, so I don't fall into that procrastination hole anymore. I think it's just because I'm so like trained at this point that I just know, my brain's like no, because I know I have those breaks coming up where I can like indulge in scrolling through Facebook, then I don't mind as much. But if you are struggling with that, I would say get blockers on your laptop. So there are loads of like extensions and stuff that you can put on your laptop that stop you from going on those websites in certain times, or use the app Forest, which you can get on your phone, I think on your laptop, where you grow trees, and if you like click off it, then the tree dies, so like you don't want to kill the trees. Things like that for like physically forcing you to not go on it. With the physically forcing yourself to not go on it, I'm such an advocate of trying to like learn to like do it yourself though, like if you can. So for me, for example, recently I've been having my phone on my desk while I've been revising, just to try to not go on it. Like, I know it sounds counterproductive, but it has meant that I've got better at controlling that urge to like check Facebook or check Instagram. And I think it's all about just this building up this self-discipline, this self-control, and it takes a while, it really does. And some days you are just going to be more distracted, like that's okay. But I do now find that if a notification comes up on my phone, I don't have that urge to check it. Not that I would have my phone near me if I'm doing serious revision anyway, but like just in case you're like, I don't know, you're in a coffee shop or something and you need your phone next to you because your mom might be ringing you at some point, like learning to like not succumb to that is a really good skill. But if you're struggling, then definitely use the applications. Like, so far this video has not had much structure, but I really hope I'm making some form of sense. And this links to my next tip, is to embrace the procrastination to an extent. So what I mean here is that we are prone to procrastination as human beings. Like, we do it, we put things off. I put things off like on a daily basis. I've had stuff on my to-do list that genuinely like has been on there longer than I've been at Oxford. Like, that's how long it's been on there, and that's just how it is. It took me 3 months to get my passport renewed because I just kept procrastinating it because I didn't want to do it. And I think that we have to embrace the fact that we're not perfect, that we are going to want to procrastinate, that we are going to want to do things like that, and to like be okay with it. Because I think the number one problem with procrastination is this guilt. It's this sense of guilt and like frustration at yourself. And I think beating yourself up over things like this is so dangerous because, you know, at the end of the day, we all make mistakes. Like, that's how we are. So what I mean by this tip is, if you find yourself on Facebook for 15 minutes and you're like, oh my god, I've just sat on Facebook 15 minutes, what am I doing? Don't beat yourself up about it. Be like, okay, I did it, but like, let's start now. I am the worst for this. If I, for example, have like gone on Facebook for 15 minutes, I'll be like, oh, well, I can't start till the hour now. I can't start till 7 o'clock because it's 6:45 now. Try and get yourself out of that habit. Try and like stop like rounding up your procrastination. Accept that you've done it. Accept that you've like wavered for a bit, and then move on, because life is too short to be dwelling upon things that everybody does. And study tubers all like to make you think that they don't procrastinate, but we all do. We all do. I'm watching every single study tuber that's watching this right now. Comment down below, make everybody feel better. We all procrastinate. It's a fact. The next tip, and this is probably the most effective one, I think. Like, I think this is the one that works the best for me when it comes to procrastination. So set yourself internal like set your own deadlines. So I think that the number one thing that inspires procrastination is if there's like a lack of sense of urgency. So for example, if your exams, like mine, start in 2 months, yes, there's that sense that they're there, but like they're not there. So that if you just give yourself an hour and a half doing like scrolling through Facebook, like that's okay, because they're not around the corner. Whereas I find like the week before an exam, I'm much less prone to procrastination because I have a sense of the end is in sight. I can do as much as I want, like the other side of my exams, which are very close now, and also that fear of like, oh my god, my exams are next week. So I think what I'm trying to say is my number one tip for procrastination is to set your own deadlines. So for example, I have a week left of my VAC, like I have a week left till I go back to uni, and I set myself the deadline of Wednesday to get done everything that I wanted to get done revision wise. And you may be thinking, Wednesday, Eve, you don't go back till Monday. But what I did was I said, you have to get everything done that you want to get done by Wednesday. And it has meant that I've worked so much harder because I've given myself a 4-day window and I've pretended that I don't have those days. I do have those days, but in my mind, I'm like, no, I don't. I have till Wednesday. And what I am going to use those 4 days for is to do my reading for next term. But like, in my head, I've convinced myself your deadline for finishing your revision for Easter is Wednesday, and that's that. And that has really stopped me from procrastinating. So, for example, if you have a vocab test next week, pretend you have the vocab test 3 days before and keep that in your head. Be like, that is when I have it due, because then even if you do procrastinate, you'll have the relief of being like, oh, I still have 3 more days. Like, trick your brain into thinking that it has less time than it has, and it really, really works. And my final tip to beat procrastination, and I think that this is like, apart from just not being hard on yourself, is just get support from people around you. Everyone who's in the same boat right now is going to want help with something like that, and I know that if I'm really struggling with procrastination, just talking to someone about it and like why I'm distracted and telling them to just check up on me and like ask if I'm still distracted or if I'm struggling, or even if you want, like get your parents to like come in and be like, are you procrastinating? And some people don't react well to that. I don't react well to that, but some people do find it useful to have someone messaging them like, stop procrastinating. So just rely on your friends and family for something like that, and remember that you're not alone, and that if you talk to somebody about it, if it's becoming a real problem and you just find yourself on The Sims for like hours and you physically can't stop yourself, then having like the support network of friends, families, teachers, and just that little push and motivation like can be really, really helpful. So I really would recommend like relying on your peers and like people you trust to support you. I'm acting like procrastination is some sort of disease or something, but like it can be really debilitating, especially when your exams are looming, because you're not even relaxing when you're procrastinating. You're like sort of doing this stressed evasion of everything that you need to be doing, and it's just horrible. So yeah, use your friends and family, please. To sum up, don't be hard on yourself. If you feel yourself procrastinating, embrace it, but like get back to it as soon as you can. Use like apps, avoid your phone. Social media is essentially the biggest cause of procrastination, and we all do it, but don't be mad at yourself for doing it. Use your friends and family and be strict on your brain. Trick your brain. Try and out hoodwink your brain. Smart. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know you didn't enjoy my hair in this video, because I certainly did not enjoy my hair in this video, but you know what, we're just going to embrace the fact that it's exam season. I'm not going to look good for most of it, so that's great. But if you did enjoy this video, give it a big thumbs up. I'm sorry it like wasn't as coherent as my normal videos, but procrastination is such a web that it's really, really difficult to like try and get that into sort of like set tips. But don't be too hard on yourself. Love yourselves, guys. Exams not the be all and end all. We all procrastinate. And just go share the procrastination love in the comments, because you're all procrastinating by watching this video. So I caught you out. I love you lots, and I'll see you very soon with the new... What am I doing? What is this? I feel like Eve Caldwell. I'll see you very soon with the new video. Bye, guys. Mwah.